Hello everyone, Fund Inspector back for another review. This week we're doing the Artemis Global Income Fund. It's a little bit different. I do like it. We'll get onto that in a minute. Anyway, like I said, I've been in Cambodia the past 10 days or something, and it's been brilliant. Generally think it's an untouched gem. So Phnom Penh, the sort of capital city, it's so developed, and seen like 10 years time that is going to be unbelievable. You should see the amount of development that's going on. It's a modern city. I think a lot of Chinese money is going into Cambodia. I think a lot of development is going on. The airport in Siem Reap, for example, was brand spanking new. They're building a train system from all the way from China through Laos to Cambodia. So there's a lot of money going in there, and it's looking pretty good. Didn't feel unsafe at all. The people were lovely. We went then from Phnom Penh down to the south. We went to an island called Koh Rong Samui, and what a place that was. That's an untouched gem. I think at the moment it's not that popular, but within like 5 years it's going to be much like the Thai Islands, where it's going to be like a tourist destination for everybody. So quite fortunate that we went there before that sort of picks up. And I really think the water is the clearest water I've ever seen. Also, don't know if you know, turned 30 over there, rented a private boat for the day, done snorkeling, we went fishing, we went to a private bay, seen the sunset, went and seen the night plankton. So all in all, a good 30th birthday, shall we say. So anyway, here's a couple of pictures. And then we went to probably the most spectacular place I've ever been, which was Angkor Wat. Now there's roughly about so many temples within a radius of Siem Reap, and they're all like 5-10 minute tuk-tuk drives. So you just rent a tuk-tuk for the day, give the guy the money, and he'll take you around all the temples. And there's obviously more famous ones than other, and Angkor Wat is the most famous one. However, there's other ones there. So there was like Ta Prohm, which was used to film Tomb Raider. So being there, that's where nature sort of takes over, and the trees are growing out of the temple. And there was another one called Bayon, it's called the Smiling Faces. So there's 56 poles with smiling faces. So you'll see some of the pictures here. There's so many temples there. We got a 3-day pass. We went twice, so because you can only get one day or a 3-day pass, and definitely worth going twice. Some people get a week pass. Like I said, there's so many temples, we didn't even go to them all, and it is quite remarkable that these were all built in the 11th century, so roughly 1,000 years ago, and they're obviously getting preserved, but it's just remarkable, to be honest, and it should be in the wonders of the world, to be honest. I don't know why it isn't. Anyway, here's some of the pictures. Okay, seen enough of that, and let's get on to it. Let's talk investments, baby. This week we're going for Artemis, a company, UK company I think they are, and they've got an Artemis Global Income Fund. They've got a number of different funds, but this is one I thought some of the investments were quite nice, though, a bit different from what we usually see. Two managers, I don't know the guys, Jacob and James, but anyway, I found them on their website. So this week, the ratings card, right, touched on it there. Angkor Wat, easily, excellent, unbelievable. Was there at 4:30 in the morning to see sunrise. Didn't even see the sunrise, but basically in the pitch black with the torches to then basically seeing sort of red sky behind this absolute spectacular sight. It was unbelievable. And like I said, that was good, but the other tempos were just as good, to be honest. And honestly, if you get a chance, go to Cambodia. It's bloody brilliant. And the guy who was our tour guide was hilarious. He kept saying, and I don't know, he wasn't even mean it. I don't think he was trying to be funny, but he kept trying to impersonate. He was telling a story about how Princess Diana came over, and he kept going, "Alright, can I have a bottle of water?" And then every time he was giving water out, he kept saying, "Bottle of water." And then he kept saying, like, "Lovely jubbly, lovely jubbly." So honestly, don't know how he's got a sort of Cockney accent, but he's a legend, like most of the Cambodian people. Funny, and it's quite sad because they don't get paid a lot for doing things. He was telling me that he starts work at 3:30 in the morning because he has to go around and pick all the tour groups, and our tour finished at 12 p.m. and then he then does an afternoon tour sometimes from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. So his working day is 3:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. and you should feel the heat out there walking around these temples. It's like 35, 36 degrees and it's humidity. Honestly, sweaty. He says in the peak season he works every single day. So that's like 3 months. I don't know how much he's getting paid, but based on how much the tuk-tuk drivers are getting for taking them for the day, we give them 20 USD. And it's not a lot, and they're lovely, honestly. Anyway, second is the 7-Eleven, brilliant, back in Thailand, some Cambodia. The ham and cheese toastie lives up to expectations. It costs roughly about 80 pence. It's always a good place to go for lunch, and also it's just got so many good drink selections. Third, is McDonald's this week. I think McDonald's is just your standard place. It's good because it's open 24 hours. It's probably still the cheapest fast food place. It's not so fast now with sometimes you have to wait a little bit. I think the menu is very bland. I still think there's other fast food chains that are nicer, but it's convenient, does what it says in the tin. It's okay. Fourth one bad is the Glastonbury lineup. Now actually it's more aimed at the headliners this year. So it's in the 1975, Neil Young and Olivia Rodrigo. I think that's poor. They're going to cause big issues here in the Saturday if Neil Young is headlining the Pyramid stage and Charlie XCX is headlining the other stage, because more people will go to Charlie XCX and Neil Young. And I was at Glastonbury last year, and like when Avril Lavigne was on the other stage and not the Pyramid stage, it was chaos. It was too many people there. So they'll need to work out what they're going to be doing with that. I'm sure that they have to have contingencies in place for that, because that's something that even me as not an event planner or a crowd management guy saying that will happen. Even just the other acts, and there is some good bands that I would definitely go and see. It's not so much about the lineup, it's more about the actual Glastonbury Festival itself. When you're there, it's unbelievable. And sort of the lineup's just part and parcel of that. You can still have a good time if the lineup's bad. But I just thought it was a bit poor, considering next year they're not going to be running the festival because they have to let the grass grow, etc. It's just one of the rest years next year. So I thought it would have been a bit better, to be honest, especially 2025. It's not the best. And then last terrible is I don't know if people who are interested in football probably won't know about this, don't really care, but there was a penalty shootout there in the Champions League. It was between Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid, and there was a penalty that was deemed to be invalid and didn't count because the guy double touched it. So he's ran up, he's slid, his right foot's hit the ball, and they're saying it came off his left foot and went in, so that would invalidate the penalty. I've seen the highlights so many times here. I've seen slowed down angles. I can't see it hit his other leg. And it just shows you, I've maintained this all the time, Real Madrid are one of the luckiest teams on the planet. They've got the most money, they've got the best players, and what comes with that, in my opinion, is fear. Referees and people are scared of them. People at FIFA, people at UEFA. I think Real Madrid honestly run European football, and I'm not even joking when I say that. And I think it's just another thing that's went in their favour. So that's the rating cards this week. If we go into the cost of the fund, I'm looking at it from a retail perspective. The size of the fund's 1.72 billion. That's not on retail. That are big institutions are invested in this. Now, the OCF is a lot cheaper if you're an institution, because obviously you're getting the economies. You're investing a lot more money than the retailers, guys. But I tell you what, 1.62% for retail is expensive. That is borderline Julian Alvarez. Actually, you know what, I'm giving it Julian Alvarez. That is expensive for a retail fund. Now, I know a lot of the money they're getting here is is from institutions, so they're actually not taking 27 million in the fund, right? That's just if it was the retail share class. The institution, I could calculate it, but for the basis of this review, I'm not going to. It's a bit less than that. But the institution share class is still quite expensive for institutions. I think it's 90 basis points, so 0.9%. Anyway, can the fees justify performance? And the answer to that is, you're going to find out in a second, is yes. The short-term performance has been good against the benchmark, which is MSCI All Countries World. So 25% versus 8%, that's very good. That's actually, I'm going to give that a good. I'm going to give it a 7-11. Actually, you know what? No, I'm giving that 1. Excellent. Anchor Watt. Medium term, it's done really well as well against benchmark, 49% versus 32%. So that's going to get a good rating. And then over the long run, the 5 years, it's done very well. So I'm going to give that an Anchor Watt, 122.8% versus 88.40. Now, this is an income fund as well, so it is paying out income. So I think it's averaging at 3% a year dividend, which is pretty reasonable for an income fund. So all in all, I think these guys, Jacob and James, are earning their corn. I think it is a good fund, and we're going to look at the assets in the fund. Now, this is a bit different to what the usual sort of funds are, and the reason is because this is an income fund, so they need to invest in companies that have got normally stable earnings, and they can afford to pay income dividends from the company's profit to investors. So, like for example, a lot of companies do not pay any income, because what they'll do is they'll invest that money back into the company to try and grow it. And you know, a lot of the big tech companies don't do that. So if you bought Nvidia, you're probably not going to get any income via dividends, because they just take the profit, and they don't give it out to shareholders. They put it back into, for example, their systems or marketing to try and increase the value of the company. So anyway, let's go through some of these. So I don't actually know all of them, so I'm going to put any of the ones I don't know. So Siemens Energy has been good. So it's you can see here there's a lot of energy and there's a lot of finance, like sort of stable earnings, not your sort of volatile tech names. So it's been pretty good. So that's a good. Mitsubishi has been good as well. Now, General Motors has been okay. It's been reasonable. So I'm going to give that a 3. Commerzbank I really like. You know, this is it's like a German bank. It's been pretty good. I think it's done quite well. So I'm going to give it a 2. I don't know about this one, Banco Popolare. I don't know what that is. So I'm going to put an NA. Fluor Corporation. I don't know what that is either, actually. So NA. Now, this is the one that I couldn't quite work out here. So it's a global income fund, and it's got Oracle in it. Now, Oracle is one of the sort of big tech names, and I had a look, and I don't see them paying massive income. So I don't know why this is in the fund. And obviously it's been good. It's been a good performer in the sense of the stock price has been very good. So I'm not having any complaints about having it in the portfolio. I wouldn't have thought that this would have been in a global income fund. Anyway, I like Oracle. It's been a good performer. It's probably helped a lot of the performance in the fund. So 1, it gets an Anchor Watt. The Wells Fargo, obviously another bank. So you can see here in their top 10 holdings, they've got Wells Fargo, they've got Banco Popolare and Commerzbank. And to be honest, I don't know if Fluor Corporation is or Hanwha, a tech one. So I don't think they're banks. But anyway, there's a big percentage in sort of finance here. Wells Fargo's been okay. So I'll get that a 3. Don't know what this one is. So NA. So I'm sorry that I've not done a lot of research on the 3 names before I do the fund review. But yeah, I don't know. But this is the one I wanted to talk about here, Rheinmetall, right? So I don't know if you have seen this. The EU have obviously increased, especially in Germany, they've increased their defence spending. So a lot of the sort of EU defence stocks, so like ones that basically build, you know, stuff for the armed forces, have been right through the roof because they're not becoming dependent on America, because obviously under Trump he's threatened to leave NATO and stuff like that, and they've obviously scared of like Russia and stuff like that. So this one here is over the past maybe a month or 2 has went up quite a lot, and it's been a great performer. Obviously some people can query the ethics and the morals of investing in these companies, because quite simply that they build the equipment that kills people. Let's just get to the fact, right? You know, if you build a tank, build bombs, then you know what are you expecting the end result to be? You know, so a lot of people won't invest in these sort of things. A lot of sort of ESG funds, so ethical, social, and government funds, won't invest in any arms companies. But obviously the governments are, because they feel that they need to protect their citizens because of external threats. So really, this fund obviously hasn't got a limit on defence funds. But if you're talking about from a sort of finance perspective and from an investment side, it's been an excellent and Anchor what. Alright, overall fund rating, right, it's got to easily get a 1 here. I really like it, it's different, it's not your usual US tech, it's a bit different, it pays income as well, so you get your income probably be every 3 months, every quarter, and also it's been a steady performer. It invests a lot of stocks that are cash positive, got a low price to earning ratios, so I like the valuations, I like this fund. It's a 1% of the portfolio. I could easily invest a lot of money in this because I really think it's a stable fund, so I'm going to go 12.5%. Alright, Fund Inspector is out. Keep talking investments, baby. And any comments, anything, stick it in the comments. Any questions, message me. And see you later.